Good afternoon, morning, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Patreon Q&A, where you ask questions and then we answer them.
If you would like to ask us questions, all you have to do is join the Patreon at Buddy Chicken tier or higher, and then you can ask us whatever burning questions you have about things.
Burning, because it's the Mike Bird Fire Patreon. I get it. Very clever wordplay there, Zach.
That wasn't intentional. That wasn't intentional. I didn't mean to do that, and I'm offended that you thought that was intentional.
Every question is a burning question if you can't wait to ask it.
For example, this question is asked by the B star, and as we know, stars are gigantic explosions that are happening in space, which are burning.
Yes, and B-Star is a 3 seasons of... It's a show on Netflix. Have you seen B-Stars?
No.
No, okay. It's pretty good.
No, I haven't seen it. That's not the question they asked, though. They asked, how are you doing?
That is, yes. I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Zach?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, a little tired, but, I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm doing all right. I can't complain, I guess. I mean, I can complain, but who would listen? Syndrome asks, longtime viewer, first-time Q&A question. That isn't a question, but okay. Oh, there's the rest of it. It just loaded. Whenever I watch your videos, I sometimes get the feeling I'm watching the show Duckman from the 90s.
Ooh.
My question is, what is your favorite adult animated show?
Have you seen Duckman?
I have seen Duckman. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it. There's bits from Duckman that I thought were really funny. My favorite adult animated show, I think, is Home Movies.
I guess that one is on Adult Swim, or at least it was when it originally aired. So
No, I think it originally aired on, like, WB or something.
Oh, did it?
Or so, I can't remember what it originally aired on, but Adult Swim picked it up.
I
and
see.
That's what it continued running on Adult Swim. But yeah, I think it's probably Home Movies is my favorite one.
That's a good one. I enjoyed that one too.
Home Movies, and then like Aqua Teen Hunger, followed up by Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
Probably. I haven't watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force in years, though.
Oh, so you haven't seen the new seasons they've been putting out recently with way more animations?
Yeah,
I kind of feel like the lackluster animations and the stiffness of it all is kind of what gave it some of its charm.
Yeah, so. I kind of liked it better when it was like that. I stopped watching right after they rebranded it to Aqua Unit Patrol Squad 1 or whatever. That's basically when I stopped watching it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I fell off too.
Yeah.
I don't know if the quality of the show fell off, but I just didn't get back into it.
Yep.
For whatever reason.
What's your favorite adult animated show?
I've always been a fan of Futurama. I think the first 4 seasons of Futurama are absolute gold. And the subsequent seasons are, decent enough. They've got their moments. They've got their high mark episodes, some really good ones. BoJack Horseman is just an all-around great show. The first couple episodes are the weakest ones, and it just gets better from there. The dip in quality never happens. It's just good all the way through.
I don't like BoJack Horseman.
I am aware of that. It is kind of a depressing show.
It's not so much that it's depressing, it's just that there's an episode where he leaves his daughter, or he forgets to go pick up his daughter because he was getting drunk at a bar, and half the episode is him just being like, "You fucking piece of shit," and it's just like that is he's like talking to himself in his head, saying, "You piece of shit." That's just what is going on inside my head all the time. And it's like I don't need to watch that on TV because I live it. Every minute of every day is me just calling myself an absolute dipshit, moronic piece of shit inside my own head. So I don't need to see it on the TV as well.
That's fair. It's still a great show, though. King of the Hill. I've enjoyed King of the Hill. They rebooted that recently. That's been great, too. There's a lot of great animated shows out there. I'd say my number one probably at this point would probably be Rick and Morty. It's been 9 seasons, and the most recent season that came out was really good. A lot of people said the 4th or 5th seasons had some weak episodes. But, I don't care. The episode that was nothing but numbers puns, I know that one's low rated, but I loved it. The one that has the worst reputation, the one where the sperm comes to life and then they have a giant incest baby, that episode's got some funny jokes in it.
What?
Yeah, no, there's some curveballs in that show.
All right. That's...
You can see why it has garnered a bit of a reputation, but I really enjoy that show still. And they even have a spinoff now, President Curtis. I've seen the first 2 episodes. That's pretty good, too. Noel asks, question for us, have we watched any good movies lately? Have you watched any good movies lately?
I watched the pilot episode of Columbo, which technically is a movie, so yes.
Okay.
The first 2 episodes of Columbo are technically movies in that they're 90-minute runtime. I think the very first one is Prescription Murder.
Okay.
And that one is just straight. That one actually aired in movie theaters. Or that not aired. It didn't air. That one was actually
Broadcast.
played in movie theaters. And then they also would play it on television. And I think the second one also was played in movie theaters. I can't quite remember.
Are the rest of the episodes 90 minutes or
The rest of the episodes are, yeah, I think it's like a...
Or are they broken? Do they break down the first couple episodes, those movie episodes, into like part 1, part 2, part 3?
I can't remember how long the other ones are because they vary.
Well, I'd say that counts.
Columbo in the first episode of Columbo, Peter Falk was 1 year older than I am right now, which makes me feel fucked up.
Yeah, the passage of time spares no one.
One more thing. So yeah, that's the good movie that I watched recently.
Okay.
I watched Columbo again for like the 12th time. I don't know how many times I've seen that episode now.
Have you watched any bad movies lately, or just the one movie?
Yeah, I did watch a bad movie recently. It was Columbo season 5, episode 6.
Oh, okay.
Which is what is the title of that one?
You've been in a Columbo kick for a while then, huh?
I like watching Columbo. It's a really good show. Last Salute to the Commodore. That is not a good episode of Columbo. It's fun. I like watching it. It's fun, but it's not a good episode.
What makes it bad?
Well, it was...
Or not as good?
Columbo does not act like himself throughout the episode. He does a lot of really weird stuff. And it's primarily because they weren't sure if they were going to get another season or not. So they kind of... Patrick... is it Patrick McGoohan? It's McGoohan. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. I apologize if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly. But Patrick McGoohan was the director of that episode, and he and Peter Falk were really good friends. And they kind of just went like real stupid with the episode. Like Columbo in the episode is way more touchy-feely with people than he should be.
Oh, okay.
Like he answers the phone while he's like with someone that he thinks is the killer. And he sits down on the couch next to them and puts his like arm around him while he's talking to him or while he's talking on the phone. There is a really funny scene where he's trying to talk to a guy that's up on a boat that's on like in dry dock.
Okay.
And the entire time he's trying to talk to this guy while the boat is in dry dock, there's someone using a saw nearby. And it gets to a point where like you can see Peter Falk trying not to laugh because it's just him. What? No, I don't. What? They're like yelling back and forth at this dude, and it's like you can tell that the saw was actually really loud, and they could not hear each other. It's. There are some really funny parts of that episode. It's not a good episode of Columbo.
Okay.
Columbo was a show that created the. You know how in most mystery things it's a whodunit?
Mm-hmm.
Columbo is a thing that is called a how catch 'em.
Okay, so
which is, you know who did the crime, you know how they did the crime, and now the entire drama of the show becomes, how is this person going to catch the criminal? Columbo was the basically like the first show that started doing that.
Okay.
And also apparently Columbo is like hugely popular in Japan, which is really funny to me because he's in all kinds of stuff. They literally put Columbo into like multiple anime. Just because they thought it would be fun.
All right.
Anyway,
I wasn't aware that was a genre of show. What other shows followed that footprint?
Technically, Death Note.
Death Note?
Death Note kind of follows that because you're following the killer around for the entire time, and the drama of the show kind of becomes how is Light going to get caught.
You're seeing it from the killer's point of view, though.
Yeah.
So it's a little different.
It is a little bit different, but anyway, every episode of Columbo is a how catch 'em. Except for Last Salute to the Commodore.
Which you said was not very good.
Yeah, it's not very good, and it kind of really suffers for the fact that it isn't one of those. You think, to their credit, they tried to do something different. When the episode starts, you think, oh, this dude's the killer.
Mm-hmm.
But then halfway through the episode, he just fucking dies.
Oh.
So it's like, oh, well, okay, so now I don't know who the killer is either.
The killer could have done it and then died. It's not...
Yeah, but it's like, they set it up in a way that you think he did it, but you don't actually see him commit the crime. Anyway, yeah, it's not a very good episode of Columbo. It's fun, it's just not a good episode.
Okay.
There's also another episode in that season, in season 5. I don't really like season 5 of Columbo. Season 5 of Columbo is kind of fucking weak. There's another episode in season 5 that starts out, I forget which episode it is, it doesn't matter. It starts out with a woman undergoing like hypnotherapy with her therapist, who she's also having sex with. and I can't watch that episode because it's way too much. The intro sequence is literally like 5 minutes long, and it sounds too much like ASMR, which makes me want to punch my fucking monitor every time I hear it. And she says the word daddy entirely too many times.
Oh.
So I just straight up will not watch that episode.
Just 5 minutes straight of her going into the microphone, daddy.
Pretty much, and I hate it. So, yeah, there you go. That's to answer. We've gone on for like 15 minutes now about me talking about Columbo.
Didn't even ask about the bad movies, but that was a bonus, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Mike, have you seen any good movies lately?
I've only seen 2 movies so far this year. I saw the second Mario movie in theaters. That was pretty good, 7 out of 10. A fun, enjoyable movie, but not as good as the first one. And then I watched the last act of The Amazing Digital Circus, which is basically episodes 8 and 9 smashed together and then presented as a movie. And I watched it in the theater, and, you know, it was pretty good. I'd say 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Good finale for the show. Wish that show had more episodes, but it is what it is. It had a good movie ending. So those are the 2 ones I watched.
Cheesy Paladin says, you've been doing YouTube for a while now. What are each of your favorite memories or series you've created on YouTube?
My go-to answer for this question is the Papers, Please video. That's
that one's really, really good.
That's one of my favorite memories, yeah.
The Papers, Please one, I know my wife thinks that my wife thinks that the Beyond the Beef quest is one of the funniest moments
in our New Vegas series?
In our New Vegas playthrough. The Beyond the Beef quest is just absolutely hilarious because it's just both of us like continually losing our shit.
That's right, because we're trying to rescue that kid who keeps on trying to like get himself killed in the freezer.
God, he just keeps trying. Anyway, that one is really funny, and then also the end of New Vegas Bounties, where it's basically just me going insane in the town. I distinctly remember that is one of my favorite ones because I remember when we record this, we're just sitting next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember doing stuff and having to actually stop because you started laughing so hard. You were like chewing on your fingers, trying not to laugh.
Yeah, I had to bite my knuckle to try not to, because I'm supposed to be like canonically dead in this episode, but like, it's sometimes I'm having too much of a good time.
There might be a couple points in that one where you can actually hear Mike laugh, but I think he did a really good job of editing all of that out. So yeah, I think those are probably some of my favorite moments.
Yeah, there's definitely some good ones there. Similar asks, have you and Zach ever thought about playing Ready or Not?
I have played Ready or Not. I think I streamed it once, and I've played it a few times.
I've looked into this game. It looks kind of like Call of Duty / Medal of Honor / Battlefield.
It is a first-person shooter. It is far more realistic than any of those ones in some ways. In other ways, it is not as realistic. It's a good game. It's fun. I don't know how good it would be if we were to. It's got a really steep learning curve.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean about I don't know how good of a video it would be if we were to do something on it.
2 hours of me struggling to figure it out.
Yeah, it would be a lot of you struggling to figure it out, and then intentionally or otherwise doing something that gets us both instantly killed, and then we have to start over from the beginning again.
I mean, that does sound like it could be humorous, but it also sounds like it could be stressful, and
it sounds like it would increase our blood pressure.
It's just normally not my kind of genre. You know, you and I played Battlefield together for a little bit, but I don't normally play first-person shooters like that.
Yeah, and I would argue that Battlefield Battlefield is just more arcadey than Ready or Not is. When I say that Ready or Not is more realistic, I mean it is attempting to be more realistic. There is some stuff that is decidedly not realistic, like the fact that I've watched a 5'3" woman in that game just absolutely manhandle a full auto M14 and somehow aimbot through a wall. She just mag dumped a 308 M14. A rifle that notably most soldiers would never use the full auto on because it was just too fucking much. Mm-hmm. She mag dumps an M14 through a wall and headshots myself, the person behind me, and the person behind me.
Jeez.
And then only doesn't hit the third person because they started moving.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can't. There's limits to realism, but that sounds goofy.
Yeah, that was that happened, and I was just like, "What the fuck, game?" Yeah, so. There's some great stuff in that game. I just don't know if it would be good for us to do a video on it, just because it's not really the kind of game that Mike likes playing, and I don't know if you would necessarily be willing to put in the time to learn how to play it.
Maybe. I am trying to
just to do a video on
I
it.
am trying to expand my horizons and play a wide variety of games, so I might be willing to give it a try for a little bit.
Josh asks, what are your all-time favorite stealth assassin games and why? And which classic game do you wish would get a remaster, remake, update?
For this question, I've got the same answer for both questions, which is the Sly Cooper trilogy. Because the Sly Cooper games are some of my favorite stealth games of all time. I really enjoy them. But I also feel like the first game was really not great. They didn't really come into their own until the second game. So going back and rebuilding the first one up from the ground up with the same kind of playstyle as the second and third games would just make it an all-time classic for me.
My favorites are probably Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid is on there. The recent Hitman games are on there. They're actually probably recent Hitman games are probably one of my favorite like stealth games. I really, really like those. Those don't need a remake because they just came out. I do really like Metal Gear Solid 5. I think that game is really fun. I think it would be really cool if they remade Metal Gear Solid. I know that there's Twin Snakes, which is like a GameCube remake of it, but that like basically only exists on GameCube or emulation if you have that. The problem with remaking Metal Gear Solid is you either have to do it as a faithful like PS1 controls remake, or you have to redesign the entire game.
Yeah.
Because so much of the game is designed around that top-down camera angle that when you have it be like if you try to remake Metal Gear Solid as a over-the-shoulder third-person like Resident Evil 4, you're gonna have to remake the whole fucking game.
That was what made Twin Snakes kind of a weak remake, is the fact that it was just the exact same game, but with updated controls, which meant a lot of the challenge was just kind of gone. And that was never more apparent than in the Ocelot fight, where you're in one enclosed room and you can just see him and you can just shoot him because now you're in first person mode.
What I will say to that is it is still that top down camera view, and that is one of the fights that doesn't work well. But for the rest of the game, I think it still works pretty good. Because I actually tried to play it recently. It took me quite a while to like actually be able to. When I go back and play really old games that I have played previously, it takes my brain like a couple minutes to reorient itself into, oh yeah, the game is played this way. I don't have these modern control conveniences. So yes, it is slightly easier, but it's not as easy as like, oh, the game is just like, this is a baby game for babies now.
No.
I think it would be really cool if they remade Metal Gear.
Yeah,
if they could completely remake Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 into new games, because like there are so many people that have never played Metal Gear or Metal Gear 2.
Right.
They've only played the Metal Gear Solid games.
I 100% agree with that.
So I think it would be really cool if they could remake those ones. It's never going to happen, but it would be neat.
Yeah, remaking Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2. And also, in that same vein, Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, just great games that are integral to the series as a whole, and the subsequent games keep on referencing the source material, but you don't have a modern way to play them, and you'd really have to struggle to play the older versions of those games. So, yeah, remake those games too.
I know that there was just a fan remake of Metal Gear Solid that just came out recently.
For the Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Someone actually did a fan remake of Metal Gear Solid, which means one of two things. One, and I don't think this is the likely one, that Konami knew about it and they didn't care and didn't say anything. I remember there have been multiple attempts to remake a fan remake of Metal Gear Solid, and every single time Konami just instantly shut it down. Or either one, Konami knew but didn't care, or two, they just shut their damn mouth until they were finished with it and then released it because by then it's too late. It's already on the internet.
Right, yeah.
So, I don't know which one it was, but...
I wasn't aware about that.
Yeah.
Let me check this quick. New Metal Gear Solid fan remake available for download as of 5 days ago, huh?
Yep.
This fan...
Yeah, that just came out.
There's an actual trailer for it.
Yeah, there's an actual trailer. I watched the trailer earlier.
All right, the graphics aren't looking that bad. This is looking pretty good. No, for a fan game, this looks pretty damn good. All right, yeah. Thank you for letting me know about that.
That just came out recently, so there you go.
All right, we got a lot more questions here.
Yep.
Hakan Zakrickson asks, what's your opinion on the Stop Killing Games movement over in the EU?
I mean, I'm for it.
I haven't looked into it too much, but Stop Killing Games sounds like a good movement.
The very brief summary of Stop Killing Games is that video games are being designed to require a server for the game to function.
Oh, for the games that are always online.
Yeah, for any, well, just like there's so many games now that require a server for the game to function, and they're basically trying to mandate that companies are not allowed. If the game would require a server for the game to function, they're not allowed to shut that server down.
I imagine that would also expand into games that get pulled for licensing issues.
That's also, yeah, there's another thing. When you buy a copy of the game, that means you should own the game, and no, they can't just go, you don't have the game anymore because you didn't buy a copy of it, or
Right.
because you don't have a physical copy of it.
So frustrating how I can't play that one. I always forget the name of the game, but it's the legendary game where you're playing as a soldier and you got choices matter, and then like
Spec Ops: The Line.
Spec Ops: The Line.
You
Thank
basically
you.
can't play that one. They took Alan Wake off of the Steam store because of, again, music licensing issues. In a nutshell, that's what the Stop Killing Games is about.
Yeah.
It's in the EU and it's trying to pass legislation to make it illegal to do things like that.
Well, I'm 100% for it then. Not the killing, the stopping the killing. Another question: what are your opinions on how Bethesda treats the modding community?
Not good.
I have very mixed feelings about it because on one hand, Bethesda gave modding tools to the community and lets them go crazy and lets them do whatever they want, and it's great that they do that, and it gives the games longevity, and the community is amazing. And on the other hand, they keep on pushing updates that break mods, and then they do the paid mods, which are kind of low quality.
I think the key thing in your previous statement there was the past tense of they gave the modders those things.
Bethesda
then now they're kind of just like, yeah, can you like only just give us money? We just want money.
Bethesda was great to the modding community a decade ago, and there's been some friction since then.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of continually pushing out these updates that people didn't ask for and people don't want, and then not actually having a way that you can uninstall them if you're on console.
I want to try to give Bethesda the benefit of the doubt, but then like they break Fallout 4 with an update right before Fallout London comes out, and then like they release an Oblivion remaster roughly the same time that the fan-made Oblivion remaster is going to come out. Like, I feel like if you're going to issue cease and desist orders, maybe do it. Maybe don't stealth drop that game. I don't know. I feel very conflicted about it.
Roko Taco says, have either of you read or heard about Dungeon Crawler Carl? I am now a cult member required to spread the gospel.
I've never heard of that.
I have heard of it. I don't really ever play tabletop or literary RPGs anymore.
I've never played any tabletop RPGs myself.
So not really something that I would be likely to be interested in.
But it sounds like you're enjoying it, and more power to ya. Joel asks, any chance there will be a wife-only playthrough of a game, preferably where they dish embarrassing moments? I mean, my wife streams, so you can check her out when she's streaming. She's been playing Pokemon recently, and she always enjoys some company.
My wife doesn't really want to make her presence be content. She's not trying to be internet famous.
Sure.
She's happy to help out with like background stuff or whatever, but she's not really trying to, be front and center doing things. Also, we care about each other a lot, and we wouldn't be like, oh yeah, listen to this embarrassing story that he did. So
yeah, and all my embarrassing moments are already out there, so my wife wouldn't be able to dish anything.
No, I know a couple more. I'm holding on to them.
Oh, blackmailing me again, I see.
Yeah. Sierra says a multiplayer mod for Fallout 4 called Commonwealth Online dropped recently. It would be fun to see you guys play it, even if it was just 1 or 2 videos. And what are your opinions on the whole Bethesda rework announcement of various Fallout projects? We'll have to look into Commonwealth Online. I hadn't really heard anything about it.
I wasn't aware of that, but it also doesn't surprise me because I know the Fallout community can go crazy when it comes to mods. They're really impressive.
My opinions on the whole Bethesda rework announcement of various Fallout projects is I hope they're good. I have very little faith they will be.
I'm sure Fallout 3 will be a very faithful remastering of it, which will be disappointing for me, who would want the content to be expanded upon. Probably a very similar answer for the Fallout New Vegas teased remake, is that I've played with mods so much that expand the content that a remade version of the vanilla game would just not excite me all that much.
It's crazy to me, and you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it's crazy to me that they're having Bethesda remake Fallout New Vegas, and they're giving Fallout 6 to Obsidian.
I suppose that is a bit silly.
That's crazy to me. And I think that, like, if you are slightly cynical, there are gigantic air quotes around slightly.
Yes.
If you are slightly cynical, like me, you can see that there are definitely people at Microsoft that are side-eyeing Bethesda going, why the fuck aren't you making more goddamn Fallout games? What are you fucking doing? Make the goddamn game! Anyway.
But that doesn't make sense to me because that would mean that Microsoft would be pushing one of their companies to do something that I want, and I'm so used to Microsoft being an enemy of me.
Yeah, Microslop is kind of just crap most of the time. It's interesting that they're actually doing something, but they're just chasing money at this point.
There's still plenty of time for them to disappoint me on this.
Oh, I'm sure there is. I'm really looking forward to seeing Todd Howard's version of Fallout New Vegas, in which the game doesn't actually even start. You never actually get to play it. It just puts you directly back into Skyrim, and or all of these speech options are taken away with yes, yes, sarcastic yes, and I'll come back later and say yes.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, to their credit, Starfield 76 did expand the number of options you got to choose from. It's just that the rest of the game wasn't that great.
I still feel so fucking bad that I ever said anything positive about Starfield. I feel so bad.
It's got positive aspects, and it made a good first impression. But
I like the shipbuilding.
Yeah. It's got some redeemable aspects, but
I thought the shipbuilding was fun. I thought organizing stuff in the ship was fun. I liked doing that.
Yeah.
I still feel bad that I ever said anything positive about that game.
Oddball says, you both have played a lot of New Vegas mods. What are the go-to mods or mod authors you would suggest? I mean, we always talk about American Weirdo being good. We had a lot of fun with New World Parliament. The Some Guy mods are always really good.
Yeah. The Agent Fuse does a lot of really good mods.
Oh, yeah.
And who are the weapon modders that is it Zealot Lee, and who is the other one?
Zealot Lee,
RC Charger.
RC Charger with the Weapons of a New Millennium.
Yeah, RC Charger and Zealot Lee both do really good mods.
Cell Block Psycho is a big figure in the community.
Yeah, just those ones. I don't do as much modding of New Vegas as Mike does.
And have I considered making more quest mods for New Vegas? I mean, I've always got ideas, but it's just a matter of finding time, which I just don't seem to have time these days. Also, Zach, have you seen the Spaz 12 clone imports?
Yeah, stop buying Turkish shotguns. Stop it. Actually, you know what? No, I'm sorry. The Spaz 12 clone that might actually be the first instance in history of a Turkish copy being as good as the original one.
Oh, okay.
And that's just because the Spaz 12 is kind of just a shit shotgun.
Oh, no.
It's the coolest looking shotgun. It looks so fucking cool. I love the Spaz 12. It looks so fucking cool, but man, it's kind of a absolute bastard to get working properly. It kind of just sucks. Especially now that all of them are like 30 to 40 years old, so they have all of those problems on top of kind of not being amazing shotguns from the very beginning. But yeah, I have seen the Spaz 12 clone shotguns. Just stop buying Turkish shotguns. Don't do it.
All right.
They're not good. Bob Topoulos says, Mike, how do you feel about fan-made source ports of games that lack official remasters?
Like Banjo Recompiled, which is absolutely the best way to play that game now. Yeah, I really enjoy them. I really hope that we get a Banjo Tooie recompilation because that was great. I've been playing recompilations of the Jak and Daxter original trilogy. That's amazing too. Yeah, when a company just forgets about an intellectual property and kind of leaves it to languish, even though they're beloved, it's always nice to see fan-made source ports of the games, bringing it back to life, giving it a new coat of paint, polishing it up, giving it bug fixes and stuff like that. Like the Banjo recompiled version of Banjo-Kazooie is such a good version of the game. All of the quality of life improvements that were added to the Xbox version, but like the draw distance is improved. It just plays so nice. I don't think I'd be able to play a different version of that game at this point.
They just recently recompiled Twilight Princess.
Really? Twilight Princess?
Yeah, it's a whole separate thing. It's called Dusk.
Oh.
And you need a copy of the game. Somehow.
For GameCube?
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah.
You need a copy of the game. Somehow, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Is it the GameCube version or the Wii version?
The
Probably the Wii version of the game because it probably has all the bells and whistles.
I think it's the Wii version, but you can, because it's a recompiled version, you can have it be mirrored.
Yeah.
You can just on the fly be like, no, I want to play the GameCube version, which is the correct one, or no, I want to play the Wii version, which is the one where they mirrored everything.
Oh, I didn't realize they had done that.
Oh yeah, because in basically every single Zelda game except for Twilight Princess and now also Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, Link is canonically left-handed.
Right.
But in Twilight Princess, because they made it for the Wii, if you play the Wii version, the entire game is mirrored because the sword is in Link's hand because most people are right-handed.
Yeah.
And they're going to be playing the game with the Wiimote in the right hand.
Oh, man.
So the whole game is mirrored.
What a screw.
If you play it on GameCube, it's the way that they originally made the game.
It's kind of fucked up for the left-handed people that were excited to play a game with a left-handed sword.
That game is how I found out that Link was canonically left-handed. And I was like, oh, wait, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I just realized that. Anyway, they recently recompiled Twilight Princess. It's called Dusk, and what's really cool is they're going to be adding all kinds of support for things in the future for like speedrunning. They're going to be adding a randomizer at some point in the future so that you can play randomized speedruns. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
It's really neat.
I never played Twilight Princess. Maybe I'll give that a try sometime.
That's probably my favorite Zelda game. Twilight Princess is up there in my favorite Zelda games. I think it's a tie between Twilight Princess and Link's Awakening.
Oh, Breath of the Wild number 3?
Breath of the Wild is really far up there, but Breath of the Wild is a game that I like a lot, but it's not a good Zelda game.
Okay, because it's open world, you mean?
Yeah, it's open. It's such a departure from the rest of from every other Zelda game. Because like you could argue that, oh well, what about Wind Waker? That one's different. It's like, yeah, that's still a Zelda game though.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a Zelda game, only instead of running across the field or getting Epona and riding Epona across the field, it's you get on a boat and you ride a boat across an ocean to get to a temple. And then there are still temples and dungeons. And because Breath of the Wild is so vastly different, I still really like Breath of the Wild. That game is an absolute delight to play and explore. I love exploring that game. I love doing stuff. But it's so different from every other Zelda game. And also, every single fucking time I start trying to climb a cliff, it starts fucking raining. Every single fucking time. Every single time.
I imagine that makes it difficult to climb the cliff.
Yeah, it makes it really fucking difficult. I don't know how the game knows. The game just knows, hey, you're climbing a cliff. You're halfway up the cliff right now. It's going to start raining. And it's like, all you would have had to do is just add an item that makes it so that you don't slip when you're climbing, or just make it so that the fucking climbing gear, which is an item that you get, and then I gotta go find 10 billion fucking rush rooms to upgrade the climbing gear, just make it so that makes it so you never slip. So now I have a reason to change the clothing. I mean, I do anyway, because it makes it so you climb faster, but like, it drives me nuts.
All right.
And since I know someone's gonna wonder, hey, Zach, how do you feel about Tears of the Kingdom? I don't like Tears of the Kingdom.
No,
I don't like that game at all.
You think it's an inferior?
I think Tears of the Kingdom is just a blatant cash grab.
Oh, okay.
I think Tears of the Kingdom is just Breath of the Wild 2. Oh, look, we added an area under the map.
Oh, all right.
I don't like it.
Okay.
I also I don't like the weapon degradation in Breath of the Wild, but I'm willing to overlook it because you get weapons regularly enough that it's not really a problem. The problem I actually run into more often in Breath of the Wild is I have too many weapons. You will know that two of the things that I do not like in video games that drive me absolutely insane are weapon degradation mechanics and survival crafting. They put both of those into Tears of the Kingdom. You gotta make all your fucking weapons.
Well, that sounds frustrating.
You have to make all of them.
I mean, it could be fun, but I don't know how well it's been executed.
For me, it was incredibly frustrating because it's like, I don't have all the weapons you're giving me do like 2 damage. Fine, I guess I gotta make a weapon. So it's like you take a sword and you attach the sword to the end of a stick, and you have now made a sword. And somehow that does more damage, but then it also breaks when you hit something with it like 5 times. And then also when that game came out, everyone was just being incredibly mean to the Koroks, and it made me sad. Stop being mean to the Koroks. They didn't fucking do anything to you. They're just little fun forest friends. People are, oh, look, I built a rocket and I launched the Korok into space. Haha, total Korok genocide. And it's just like, why? What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway.
All right, to bring it back around, that's a game that would benefit from a fan-made source port, so you could remove the crafting mechanism. So fan-made source ports are amazing.
Zach, how obsolete and obscure does a firearm platform have to be for it to be uninteresting to you, or does that only make it more engaging to learn about? I don't know, the whims of my ADHD hyperfocus around firearms are absolutely unknowable because there will be guns that are just the most boring thing ever. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this. This is incredibly cool. And then there are guns that you would think like, wow, Zach would love this thing. And it's like, I don't really care about it.
No.
It's just like for example, the AK. I just don't care.
That's
It doesn't interest me.
Yeah.
Like when I look at the AK, it's how I would imagine most people feel when they look at firearms of just, yep, that's a gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel when I look at it. It's just like, yep, that's a gun. You hand me a Steyr AUG and suddenly I'm like, just like drooling and foaming at the mouth about it.
All right.
Yeah, the whims are unknowable.
Yeah.
It's impossible to say because like you would think, oh well, Zach he's not really a revolver guy, so like he wouldn't care about like this old Smith and Wesson I found, and then I just suddenly do the Naked Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3 thing, and I just go on a 45-minute rant about the Smith and Wesson model 1917.
Yep. More gun questions. This one from Pure High Point. You must make an instantaneous choice. Would you rather rock a high point you bought at the pawn shop for 4 hours straight, or teach a roomful of elementary school children the recorder for 2 hours?
So my options are be trapped in a room with 15 to 30 elementary school students who have been given unrestricted access to a loud piercing instrument, or go to the firing range for 4 hours.
Yeah, I think
it's a very obvious choice.
Yeah. The way I imagine this question being asked is that you have to fire the gun for 4 hours straight, and maybe you don't have good hearing protection, and it's
no. It's the implication is that it's a high point and it's terrible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, high points are just not great guns.
I imagine you would just be happier firing even a lackluster gun for 4 hours than the other option, which sounds
I would probably
awful.
have more fun just struggling to get a high point to cycle through an entire magazine for 4 hours than I would teaching a bunch of elementary school children. Bonus points if it's one of the Benjamin high points.
Mm-hmm.
That's a high point that is covered in a $100 bill pattern.
Okay. Do you think you even know how to play the recorder anymore? Do you remember the finger placements?
I have no idea. So it would be me and a bunch of kids trying to figure out how to play a recorder at the same time, and it would be me, you know, like, boo, 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 boo. Shut up! All you kids, shut up for a second. Stop playing the instruments.
I'm trying to remember the finger placements. I think I could, if I had a recorder in my hand, I might be able to get the whole do re mi octave down, but it's been a long time.
JP117 asks, is there a really big difference between a budget AR-15 like the M&P 15 Sport 3 versus a premium brand like Daniel Defense or Geisley? Technically speaking, yes, there is a huge difference. Practically speaking, no. For 99% of shooters, no, it's not going to make a difference. That's usually why when people ask me about like, what AR-15 should I get? I just basically throw the Palmetto State Armory website at them and say, here, pick one.
The biggest difference is a couple $1,000s.
Because for most new shooters, it is not going to matter. That's like Palmetto State Armory is a great company to get for a new shooter who has fired an AR-15 once and they don't own one and they want one that they think looks cool. And like they, in all likelihood, are not going to be someone like me that spends more time ripping their entire gun apart and reconfiguring it into different things because they think it's fun, or cloning specific guns because they have brain problems. Yeah, practically speaking, no, there really isn't that much of a difference. Technically speaking, yes, there is a massive difference, but you are paying for that massive difference. Now, granted, there are some guns that you're paying for the brand name. Geisley is up there.
Really?
Geisleys are more reasonable.
I feel like I've never heard that brand of gun before.
They're a pretty big one. Daniel Defense is another big one. Daniel Defense is another one that you also are kind of paying for a name. I would say Daniel and Geisley are two gun companies where you're paying for the name, but you are also getting a good product. There are some brands like Knights Armament where you are straight up just paying for the name Knights Armament on the thing. Granted, a lot of stuff they make is very, very good, but you are getting such diminishing returns by buying a Knights Armament over
the Kirkland brand version of it.
Over a Geisley. I wouldn't say the Kirkland brand because Knights Armament is still a very top tier, but you're getting such diminishing returns buying a Knights Armament over a Geisley that you're just paying for name at that point. So.
Okay.
Redfire asks, Zach, I am in dire need of your assistance with selecting a 1911 that doesn't suck. Here are my list of requirements. Separate matter, what is both of you guys' favorite artificial fruit flavor? Well, we'll get to the more important question first. My favorite artificial fruit flavor is probably like strawberry watermelon.
That's a pretty tasty flavor.
Yeah, I think strawberry watermelon is my favorite artificial fruit flavor.
I think mine might be cherry. I do like cherry quite a bit.
You like the cough syrup flavor?
Yeah, for some reason it doesn't taste like cough syrup to me. It just tastes good.
Yeah, I don't mind cherry most of the time. There are times when it's like too much cherry and then it tastes like cough syrup to me. But most of the time, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So let's go on to the next question. No, I'm just kidding. The Springfield Garrison is good. Honestly, Kimber's 1911s are much better. Kimber 1911s are actually good again.
Wasn't aware there was a period where they were lackluster.
Yeah, they were. Kimber 1911s were pretty good, and then they got really, really bad. Their quality control went into the toilet. They got terrible, and now they are decent again. And I will tell you, the thing that changed at Kimber was the CEO Ron Cohen left and started working for Sig Sauer. Weird how when Ron Cohen took over at Kimber, the quality control went into the fucking toilet, and then he left and started working for Sig Sauer, and now their quality control went into the toilet. It's odd. It's weird how that happened.
It's just...
Oh, what's this piece of paper I have here that says that Ron Cohen was arrested and sentenced to jail time in Germany for illegally sending firearms to a conflict state? Oh, that's odd. What's that? He's not actually in jail because he got out because he has lots of money? That's weird. Anyway.
I'm learning a lot.
Yes, the Sig hate is completely unwarranted. No, it's not going to stop. Kimber 1911s are actually pretty good now. So Kimber wouldn't be a bad option. The Springfield Garrison is another good option. Honestly, TSOS firearms, TSOS 1911s are actually really good for the price point you are paying. Which you would think, because it's a Turkish gun, that it would be crap. But no, weirdly, Turkish handguns are very good. Turkish shotguns are very terrible.
Oh, all right.
TSOS is a really good budget version, but the Springfield Armory Garrison is not bad, and neither are a lot of Kimber's handguns.
All right.
At least modern Kimber handguns.
Very comprehensive answer. Zach, I remember a stream where you said you wanted an Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but they did a collaboration or something, and there is a Speedmaster available for around $300 and available in several colors.
Yeah, Omega did a collaboration with Swatch to make the Moonwatch. It's like the Omega Swatch Moonwatch. It doesn't really interest me. It's the reason I want the Omega Speedmaster Professional is because it's the Moonwatch. So like, if I want to get one, I guess I'm paying $8,000 for one because that's how much they cost. And it's like, it has to be that one.
I see. You don't want a knockoff version or something similar.
Yeah, even though they did a collaboration with them. Also, I don't know if it's actually like an analog watch. It might be a quartz watch, which is again, it's not the same for me. Yeah, it is a quartz movement, so it's not an actual. It's still a watch. It's just not an actual Omega Speedmaster movement, which is the other thing is I want it to be that. So
all right. Another question: who would win in a fight? The duck that used to be the channel icon, or a Treasure Panda? Probably Treasure Panda.
Treasure Panda always stays strapped.
Yeah,
he got that motherfucking thing on him.
I've seen pictures of him. He's
got that gun.
He's got that gun.
He'll do it. He's crazy.
He is. I don't think the duck would want to tangle with Treasure Panda. Absolutely not. Nope.
Now, granted, it's just one of those little cork guns that you can get from like a Bass Pro Shop. That when you pull the trigger, it goes.
Yep.
So,
But the duck is very conflict averse and would elect to lose the fight and would not feel ashamed about it.
Dalek Dan asks, "Do you have a favorite painter? And if so, what are your favorite paintings by them?"
Ooh.
I said this is in like one of the first episodes.
Yeah, one of the first episodes of Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah. Edward Hopper is one of my favorite painters. I really like Automat by Edward Hopper. I think that one's a really good one. I really like Island of the Dead by Arnold Brocklin. That's another painting that I like quite a bit. There's apparently a bunch of different versions of that too. They're all similar, but they're all like a little different. But yeah, I really like Isle of the Dead by Arnold Brocklin. I think that's another very good one. Oh, John Martin did a bunch of really fucking cool paintings. John Martin has created a bunch of really fucking cool paintings. There's one that's Satan presiding at the Infernal Council. That one is such a fucking cool painting. And then there's also Pandemonium, Paradise Lost, which is another John Martin painting that is a really fucking cool one. Oh, I'm sorry, I was pronouncing his name wrong. So it's Island of the Dead by Arnold Bocklin, not Brocklin. I'm sorry, I was pronouncing his name wrong.
It's all right.
I guess technically Satan presiding at the Infernal Council is an engraving, not a painting, but there is another painting that John Martin did that I really like. And John Martin did a bunch of paintings that I think are really fucking cool. One of the cool things about Pandemonium by John Martin is that the building that Satan is looking at that is Pandemonium, the building that he is looking at is heavily modeled after I want to say it's the British House of Lords. And the river of fire that he's standing in front of is basically just the Thames.
Oh, okay. So I get it.
Yeah.
I understand that now because I played Fallout London, so I know that's the road that runs through London. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's actually supposed to be, because he basically was just doing like a like thumbing his nose at, yeah, look at this. Oh, look, it's hell. Huh. Weird. One of the really cool things about Pandemonium, and people don't know this, is that he also designed the frame that Pandemonium is in, and the frame is so fucking cool looking.
Oh yeah?
It's got like fucking dragons and shit going like all the way around. It's such a cool frame. And it's like you only ever really see just the painting. You never see the whole frame with it. So yeah, I think those are probably my favorite ones. I do also really like, I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong. I'm so sorry. I think it's pronounced Stanislaw Bakinski, but I will show you how it's spelled.
Okay.
And you will understand my confusion.
It's a Polish name. That's a lot of Z's.
Yeah, I don't know how you actually are supposed to pronounce that. So my best guess, and I'm very, very sorry, I know I'm getting this wrong, is it's Stanislaw, but I don't...
That's a good guess.
I don't actually know. I like basically everything that dude does. That guy makes some of the most fucking horrific looking paintings I've ever seen in my life, and I love every single one of them. They're so fucking cool looking. So yeah, he's another artist. Basically, if you've played any modern horror game, it probably took some inspiration from him.
All right.
His paintings weren't meant to mean anything. They were just all inspired by dreams, basically.
Okay.
So like, damn, what kind of fucking dreams are you having, my guy? Those are some whack ass dreams, dude. But I really like his artwork. I think it's so fucking cool. So yeah, there you go. There's a selection of 4 painters that I think are I like the stuff that they make.
Very nice.
Or made, rather.
Yeah. I don't have a favorite painter or painting, but sometimes I see concept art for video games, and it's really good. Like the concept art has no business being as good as it does.
Yeah.
Especially if the game turns out to be garbage, but then you see the concept art for it, and it's so good.
Yeah.
But
I've seen a few instances of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Tucker Toast asks, what is one thing that you own that may not be worth much actual money, but means the most to you? I guess I got these cats for $25 each for the adoption fee, so they're technically not much money, but they are great. So yeah, I'll be happy to put some pictures up of the cats, Rue and Petey.
I have a little plush of a dog that I've had since I was like a baby. And I also have a blue, it's a rabbit. It's a little blue stuffed rabbit that I have had since I was, I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 years old. I still have both of those.
Nice.
So I guess those.
Yeah.
Because they're like not really worth anything, but I'm very glad that I still have those.
Yeah.
The rabbit, I thought that was straight up lost forever, and I only recently found it like this year.
Was it also in the?
It was in with all the stuff that I've found in the attic. So I'm glad that I found that again and was able to get it like cleaned up, and so now I have those two.
Nice, very nice. Do you think you guys would be interested in opening a P.O. box for fan mail and random junk? We have talked about that, but I guess you have your throne, which kind of fits a similar purpose.
Yeah, I have. I'm hesitant to open a PO box because I really don't want people sending me sex toys and illegal gun parts or an entire gun or a bomb.
Or a 55-gallon drum of pasta, or whatever they can think of.
Yeah, or I don't know, just all kinds of stuff like that. So I do have a throne, which you can suggest things to the throne, and then I can approve or deny them. Most of the time they get denied because it's things like a 55-gallon drum of mustard. I didn't even know they made mustard in 55-gallon drums, but apparently they do.
I imagine restaurants would go through it fast enough to warrant it. But
I don't know how, man. I don't know how you're going through that much mustard.
It's a hot dog store, maybe.
I guess.
I don't know.
I don't even know if Costco would go through mustard that quickly.
If anyone would. Also, I know merch has been mentioned in the past. Any update on that? I have not made any progress on that. No, sorry.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that's something we can get in the near future. Zach Dammit asks, which would you pick? Never having to eat for the rest of your life or never having to sleep for the rest of your life? Never having to eat.
That does sound pretty good.
If I've actually said this before, if I did not have to eat, but I still could eat food, then I would 100% pick that because it's such a fucking pain in the ass to have to cook food. You spend like an hour and a half cooking food and then you eat it all in like 10 minutes. And then now you got to clean up all the dishes. So you got to spend another hour cleaning the dishes.
Yeah.
It just would be so much easier. I like sleep too much to give that up. I enjoy sleeping.
I have a condition that would determine my answer for this question. If I don't eat, am I hungry? And if I don't sleep, am I tired? Do I have to choose between being permanently hungry or permanently tired? Or is my need to eat permanently eradicated?
I'm going on the need to eat is permanently eradicated, and you can eat and you can sleep. You just do not need to.
I suppose in this instance, I would choose to never have to sleep then because I like not feeling tired. That's so. I guess I would pick. I would like to never have to sleep.
KC says, no more Fishman questions for now. Instead, you've been gifted/cursed with immortality and eternal youth, but you've been given one out of your choice. You can undo the immortality at any time, or you get the unlimited ability to forget all memories of your choosing,
Okay.
or the ability to achieve perpetual Zen enlightenment/I don't give a fuck. Which one of those three do you choose and why?
Well, the obvious choice sticks out to me. What do you think?
It's the ability to undo the immortality at any time.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, it might be okay, but like, immortality is a long time, and you're going to be around long after the death of the Earth, and you're just kind of floating through space, losing your mind.
Yeah.
No way to end it. Yeah, it sounds like hell.
Unless you got that snail following you, and then in which case you just let the snail touch you.
The snail? Oh, the snail that's been chasing
Yeah,
you.
the snail that's just been chasing you. It's
Yeah.
just floating towards you in space in a titanium sphere.
I suppose, theoretically, I could choose immortality, and then I could also choose to achieve perpetual Zen and enlightenment, and then I don't care that I'm floating through the entirety of the empty universe for a googolplex of 1 billion years. But then what would it all be for? Just to... Would I survive through the death of the entire universe? And
Well,
then I'm just
eventually you'll get turned into Hawking radiation and spit out of the black hole that our universe exists inside of. So,
okay.
this statement may or may not be true.
Starlight asks, what are your thoughts on denim? Denim jackets are pretty cool. I like wearing denim jackets.
I always really wanted to get one of like the vintage Levi's jackets where they used to have them like blanket lined. And then the sleeves were actually blanket lined as well. Because like now all the modern ones are like polyester lined sleeves, and then only the back of or only like the body of the jacket is blanket lined, which is annoying. But then like any of the ones I can find online, they're never in the size that I want. So anyway, denim's all right. It's cool.
For the longest time, I had a comforter made out of what felt like denim. It was really cozy. Like one side was, soft and fluffy, but the other side was denim. That thing was durable. It lasted a good 20 years. It was nice to lie on it.
Faux denim?
I guess maybe.
That's weird.
Yeah, but it wasn't as thick as like a weighted blanket, but it was definitely thicker than like a comforter or anything. It was just really nice. It was warm underneath it and then cool on top. It felt good. Denim's great.
Cookie Demon asks, since Mike is usually depicted with fire and Anne with ice, what kind of elemental motif would Zach have? Loud.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, the elements of earth, wind, fire, and loud. I
See,
don't know. Maybe I would lean more towards lightning because then I can just keep going unlimited power and zapping people.
Nice,
I don't know.
nice.
Maybe that one.
I was gonna go with like a steel typing or an earth typing. I kind of figured that might be what you might lean into.
I think either loud, just loud TM or lightning. I think
Okay.
either one of those two.
My mind went to like mechanical elements, so like maybe a steel kind of thing, but that was
Yeah.
just kind of where my mind went.
Yes, I have the element of gun.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well that basically wraps up the Q&A questions for this month.
Thank you so much, everyone, for all your submissions. We really appreciate that, and we were happy to answer these.
If you would like us to answer questions, all you have to do is join the Patreon at Buddy Chicken tier or higher, and then you can ask us whatever questions you would have about things. They need to be questions, though. I don't know what to say to you telling me how your day went.
Thumbs up emoji is my response. Yeah, there you go.
I reply with a gif of Bender going neat and taking a photo.
God, I do have that one saved in my phone as a nice reaction image.
Yeah, it does need to be an actual question, and please try to limit it to just, like one question.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if like a second question, if the first question begats a second one, that's fine, but we don't need to have the entire book of Genesis where Zarathustra begat Zebulon, who begat
Zebulon.
Zwingdidu, who begat Zimbop.
That's a Pokemon, Zimbop.
Is it?
I don't probably at this point.
Probably. It's probably a chair Pokemon.
A chair type Pokemon.
If you would like to know what type of chair is our favorite type of chair and what type of Pokemon would also like that chair, you can ask us by joining at Buddy Chicken tier or higher. I should not have said that. Now someone's going to ask that question, and I don't know how the fuck I'm going to answer it. I'm going to say, you know what I'm going to say right now? If you ask me that question on the next Patreon Q&A, I will not answer it.
We will answer that, but that's a question for next month's Mike and Zach. It's their problem now, suckers.
No, I'm not answering it. I'm not going to answer the question. I'm just telling you in advance. If you ask that question, you have wasted your question, and I will not answer it. Ask me what my favorite... I'm not going to give you ideas on what question to ask me. That's your job. Your job is to ask the questions. I answer the questions.
Yeah.
Come on.
We could do a Jeopardy thing where they ask us the answers and we have to figure out a question.
You can ask me if I like the cans in the contiguous United States or if I like the cans in Hawaii better.
The cans in Hawaii, are they a little thicker at the top?
Yeah, they're different. The cans in Hawaii are different. But it's
Okay.
because they have a whole different canning industry down there.
Oh, that's
Because
right.
it's more expensive to ship the cans there than it is to just make the cans
I
there.
see. Well, that would be an interesting question to ask and see what your opinion on that would
At
be.
least I think that's why.
Well, the cans in Hawaii are different because they're so close to the equator and the Earth is spinning so fast there that they had to reshape the design of the cans so they were more aerodynamic.
Oh, that's why. Soda cans in Hawaii feature a distinctive ridged neck and a wider 206 lid diameter. Mainland U.S. plants transitioned to a smaller 202 lids to save aluminum, but Hawaii's single local can plant in
Honolulu.
Oahu.
Mm.
Hawaii's single local can plant in Oahu kept older machinery because upgrading it is too costly for the local market.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's too expensive to get whole new machinery for these cans when the market is so small.
I always thought that they made the sodas in mainland and then sent it over there, but I guess maybe it would make more sense to just can it over there.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I want a can of Mountain Dew Baja Blast that has the Hawaii can lid on it. I'm gonna have to go to Hawaii just to get a can of Baja Blast.
Yes.
Or I can just buy it online and just have it sent
Have it
here.
shipped.
Do you remember when cans had the lid that you pulled it off?
I was thinking of when you said that Hawaii had different cans. I thought,
Uh-huh.
the pull can tabs.
No,
Pull tabs?
they're not those. I don't really remember the pull can tabs.
I did not,
I don't think
no.
I was old enough to drink soda when those were still a thing.
No, I don't think so.
I think they stopped. I forget when they stopped being a thing. But do you remember when the lid was narrower? Do you remember when the mouth was narrower?
Yeah,
I think the first company in the United States to do that was Mountain Dew.
you think?
I think it was Mountain Dew or Pepsi.
That wouldn't surprise
Because I
me.
remember seeing commercials that's like, look how smoothly it pours now. And it was just like out of that because they made the lid wider.
Drink it faster than purchase more.
Purchase more. What? Okay, I know that this is a Lewis Black bit, but like, why the fuck do Pepsi and Coca-Cola advertise? What is the purpose? I promise you that there is not a single person in the United States that is under the age of 5 that does not know what Pepsi or Coca-Cola are.
Right.
There's no reason for them to advertise ever.
There is a reason to advertise.
Why?
It's not to raise brand awareness at this point. Everyone knows they exist. It's to remind. It's to tickle your brain senses and get you thinking. Oh man, there's a Pepsi. I wish I had that in my mouth right now. I should go buy a Pepsi. That's how advertising works.
That's stupid. That's dumb.
That's how advertising works.
There's no reason. There's literally the only advertising they should do is just like every like 6 months they should just send you a little tiny postcard that just says "Drink more Pepsi, idiot." That's it. That's all the advertising they need to do, and then you would see it and go, "Oh, I should go get some Pepsi."
Maybe that's the reason they still have market dominance is because they advertise. You know,
Maybe.
if they slip a little bit, RC Cola comes back into the picture.
Oh yeah, I guess it was in the 80s. It was in the 80s they transitioned from the pull tab to the tab would stay behind on the can. But
Makes
yeah, I
sense.
remember.
I'm glad they did too, because from what I heard, those pull tabs are very sharp and people stepped on them all the time.
Oh yeah, especially when people just like leave them behind on the beach.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was probably the impetus for them to be changed in the first place.
I mean, it literally used to be that they just straight up weren't. There wasn't any lid on the can. Or there was a lid on it, but there wasn't any kind of like pull tab or like thing. You had to. That was why the bottle opener had the little pointy bit on the other side, because you would go chunk with the can opener onto the can, and it would punch a little triangle into it, and then you would go on the other side and punch a little tiny hole, so that when you were drinking from the can of beer, it didn't go into your face, because you had to make a little vent hole.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
That's also why they went to the bigger, wider mouth, so that when you're drinking from it, it doesn't just air doesn't rush in, and then the water, and then whatever you're drinking splashes you in the face.
Yeah, I want to drink it, and not have it glug glug at me.
Yeah, cans are interesting.
There's a lot of engineering that goes into the design of these things.
They're really cool. I think there's an engineering guy video on the design of cans, and it's actually very interesting.
I watched the entire thing. It was very interesting.
It's a really cool video.
The way they mill those things out.
Because they're drawn out of a sheet of aluminum, which is cool.
Yeah.
Does make me wonder why we don't have triangular cans, though. And I know why we don't have triangular cans, because it would be stupid, but I want a triangular can.
I'm sure things do come in triangle cans just for novelty's sake, but yeah, for something that's being mass produced, probably not.
Remember when they brought Crystal Pepsi back very briefly?
I did. I sampled it. It was not bad. It was kind of like Sprite. Oh, it looked kind of like Sprite, I guess.
It looked like Sprite, but it tasted like Pepsi. It was odd.
Yeah.
There was some video like years ago where a dude drank a can of Crystal Pepsi that he found that was like a vintage one that made him want to throw up. I think he did throw up. He was just like, oh, just like he couldn't fucking do it.
I mean, yeah, how long ago was the Crystal Pepsi original release date? Like 20 years ago? It's probably not good.
At the time, it was, I remember the Diet Pepsi cans with the little penguins on them.
I do remember those, yeah.
Oh, those were cute. I liked those. Anyway, why the fuck does Pepsi advertise? You don't need to advertise. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop advertising.
Advertising is still a thing that they can do, but you know what they need to stop doing is redesigning their logos. Everyone knows what a Pepsi looks like. You don't have to make a weird swirly thing.
Stop redoing the logo every X period of time. You already had a good one. It's fine. You don't need to do another one. And stop making all the McDonald's look like a fucking bank.
Well, that's just done for real estate purposes. It's the constant enshittification of everything.
It's just like, go back to making the McDonald's look like a fucking clown exploded. Make the McDonald's look like that again. It was better. It was better when everything was made out of fucking vinyl and it was all weird pastel colors.
I know you're talking about like the outside of the building being all colorful, but I like to imagine that like the play place, it has all the intestines and everything.
Ronald McDonald Aloha snack bars himself in the play area. No. Oh my god. Don't go in the play area either. It's always got pee in it. Imagining that the play place is Ronald McDonald's anatomy that's exploded gives a whole new meaning to the word ball pit. Oh no. I'm going to start an OnlyFans account, but I'm only going to put pictures of vintage soda cans on it. It'll be called Only Cans. Welcome to Only Cans. You know, I bet you there's a market for that. And then on April Fool's Day, I'll upload an image of a bottle. Oh my god, it's a Space Camp Coca-Cola. That's not the actual Coca-Cola that was in space. Fuck you, Coca-Cola. That's not the actual one that was in space. It just looks kind of like it. Not even the same fucking thing. Oh yeah, see that's what like cans of beer and soda used to look like, and you had to use a can opener to go and pop a hole into it. Wow, it looks like a paint can. I know, isn't it crazy? Speaking of paint can, I used to work at a local store that had a bunch of departments in it, kind of like a Walmart. You know how Walmart has a bunch of departments. And when I worked there, I worked sometimes in the paint department, and they had a whole like paint mixing system, and you could bring colors in, and I would put them into the thing.
And it would identify the color,
and it would match the color with paint.
Okay.
And then when it did that, it put it into a bucket. You would start with just like a white. It would tell you what base to start with, and you would get that base, and then you would add the colors to it, and would just do the colors automatically. And then you had to put that into a paint mixer, and would shake everything up. And then there was an adapter for the paint mixer to put the little tiny paint cans. I don't know how big those are. Is that a quart? The U.S. measurement system makes no sense to anyone. I got bored one day and I took an empty one of those 1 quart paint cans because we had a bunch of them that didn't have a label on them. It was just the empty steel paint can.
Okay, just an empty can.
Yeah, I took that, I brought it to the break room and I cleaned it out with soap and water. And then I filled it with milk and ice cream and put it into the paint mixer and had it make me a milkshake. I just ran it in the paint mixer for like 3 or 4 minutes, just shook the fuck out of it.
Did that actually work?
It worked really well. It actually worked incredibly well. And it shook it up really, really well. And then I took it out and then I just stuck a straw into the paint can. And I was just standing in the paint department holding this thing, unlabeled paint can, with a white liquid in it that is the same color and consistency of paint. And I was just drinking it with a straw. And the manager came over to me at one point after I'd been doing this for like 20 minutes. And like I'd helped 3 customers. Manager came over to me and they were like, what are you drinking? I said, it's a milkshake. Because it's in a paint can. Yeah. And he just like looked at me like really angrily. I'm like, I washed it. And like that was the big problem. He's like, I had 2 customers come back and say that there was a guy in the paint department wearing a shirt for this store drinking out of a paint can. And I was very concerned. And they asked if he needed help. No, I figured out how to make the milkshake just fine, thanks. It's like they told me I wasn't allowed to do that anymore.
And that was your last day in the paint department?
No, they kept me working in the paint department, but
oh, that's good.
I did also get in trouble for just walking, because I would also have to work in like the automotive and like the hardware departments, and I would just walk around with a crowbar.
Yeah,
just for fun.
You never know. It needed to be.
And people, my supervisor or my boss would just be like, Zach, what are you doing? I got a crowbar. Why do you have a crowbar? Because I'm gonna go put it back. It was a return. All right, well then go put it back. Okay. 45 minutes later, they come back. I still got the fucking crowbar. Go put the crowbar back. Okay.
There's nothing in the employee handbook that says I can't carry around a crowbar.
No.